All right, so we're on page 39. I'm going to kind of go over the review packet for you. I'm not going to show you all the answers, but I am going to give you some tips, tricks, and hints for most of these problems. So on page 39, well, the first two, those are pretty straightforward. They're talking about exponents. That was in the beginning part of the unit, so if you want to remember what those look like, you might want to go to page, I think it's like page 3 or 4. All right, now these next 4 problems, you're going to use the cheer, parentheses, powers and roots, multiplication and division from left to right, lowly, addition and subtraction from left to right. For these 4, again, it's not just about the answers, it's about showing one step at a time. Do one thing at a time, starting by rewriting the problem, and then use squiggles to show each step that you took. And again, at the end, it should look like a triangle when you're done with the answer on the bottom. All right, so those 4 are all order of operations. If you turn the page to page 40, I'm going to give you some tips for these ones on top. It says, what is the value of CD? Well, that really means C times D. So when you rewrite this, I would put a dot in between them just because that might help you remember that that's multiplication. For this one up here, what is the value of 2 plus 3 times n? Again, when you rewrite this, it's a good idea to put the dot in there. Now for this one here, n is a fraction. So when you write this out, you probably want to make 3 a fraction as well, 3 over 1. So it'd be like 2 plus 3 over 1 times a half. That'll help you multiply those a little bit easier. And this one is pretty straightforward. You just kind of rewrite. There's no dots you'd have to put in here. S plus 2 minus u. That's what it would look like. Make sure your plus sign and your t don't look too similar. Make that smaller, a little bit smaller. All right. So those 3, again, the first step, it's important to rewrite it with a dot if you can. That will help remind you that it is multiplication. All right, 10, 11, 12, there are pages in the packet, I believe, like page 15, I want to say, somewhere like 15, 16, maybe 17, page 17, 18. That may help you with these, okay? So this is taking a phrase and then writing an expression based on the phrase. 10 less dollars than Caitlin. You're going to pick the expression that shows 10 less dollars than Caitlin. 11, same sort of deal, and same for 12. So if you look at page, I believe it's, again, 17, 18, something like that. That might help you with these if you get stuck. The properties, these questions, 13 through 14, are on the properties, associative, commutative, and identity. If you need help on these, page 23 might be a good idea to look at if you're trying to remember. I'll jot that down for you. Page 23 might be a good idea for those 3 if you're stuck. All right, number 16, you're going to factor 18 and 12. I'll just give you a heads up of what that means. What you're going to do is find the GCF. Once you have the GCF, then you're going to write what would be in each group. Okay, so you're going to find the GCF first by breaking the numbers down. We did this a few times toward the back of the packet. I think the pages in like the mid to late 20s, like 26, 27, I believe. We did do factoring, so if you get stuck on that one, you might want to check that out. On the back, last page here, distributive property. I'll give you a hint as to what that looks like. This is 6 groups of x plus 4. To use distributive property, we're going to undo the groups, and you can use arrows like that. So that's not done. I'm just kind of setting that up for you. If you use the arrows, it helps you to ungroup the grouping. So you'll end up with 2 terms and no parentheses. So you're going to multiply the 6 by the x, multiply the 6 by the 4, and you're going to get a equivalent expression, again, with no parentheses. Same thing for 19, same thing for 20. Simplify. Well, that's combining like terms. So these all have x's in it, so it looks like you can combine all these. You can use just kind of distributive property here. You're going to multiply just once, and then you can use distributive property here as well. You're going to multiply twice because you got two numbers or two terms inside the parentheses. Okay, and we did that again, maybe around the 30s, in the 30s, those pages like 30, 31, 32, somewhere around there would be distributive property, if you forgot what that is. All right, factoring again. We got two factoring problems. And I'll help you set this one up, and the next one's done the same way. You get 20x and 35y. If you circle the x, circle the y, remember you can't break those down, and then you break down the numbers like that. At the end of it, remember, you're going to have groups in parentheses. So again, if you're stuck on this one, look in the packet for when we did factoring, and that might help you with a problem like that. 25 is done the same way. All right, the last problem, a family of 8 went to the movies. Oh, that sounds familiar. I think we did a problem like this before. Each person got a ticket that cost N dollars. The 6 children each got a box of candy for $4. Write and simplify an expression that represents the total cost. So I'm going to help you with this one a little bit. What you're going to do is you're going to write a let statement on this side. On the other side, you are going to write the expression. Now, you can't evaluate it because you don't know what n is, but we did this a couple different times. There are pages in the packet that you can go back to. So just keep in mind, anytime you're stuck, we've done problems just like this before. So if you're stuck on one, you're like, I'm not sure what to do, go back in the packet, find a question that we did just like it, because it might help you remember what you did, and then you can come back and try it. So that's a good study technique. If you're stuck, again, especially because we're at the end of the unit, we've already done questions just like these, it'd be a good idea to go back and find those pages that might be helpful. If you're completing this review packet and you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. If not, well, I will see you soon. All right, have a great day. Bye-bye.